Hey, Cinnamon Rage here, and this week we move from Baku to Bahrain for the 4th race in Season 15 of the AOR Xbox F6 League. And Bahrain for me is generally one of my better tracks, and so I'm going to actually show you for one of the rare occasions, certainly what feels like that recently, by actually getting 2 good laps during qualifying. I didn't make a mistake, I didn't validate it, so this here is the first lap. Bahrain's generally, as I say, an okay race. I was trying quite hard to just avoid curbs for my first flying lap, and just making sure to be better room from the cars in front, which I did, so I'd got the spacing quite well. Ran wide here, made a wee error as well, but just about kept it on track. And yeah, this section's always quite tricky. You can get on the power so early, but it's so easy just to make a wee mistake and run a bit wide, and it just messes up again. I'm just not the best on the curbs, so I have to be quite cautious. For this corner, I tend to actually brake really early, because if I don't, I more often than not just run wide, and it actually does more damage than the extra 10 metres braking. And also take quite a straight line again. It seems to help me not lock up, so not probably the best line, not the best braking point, but it just gives me more consistent laps, so I'm not going to complain about that. So coming on to the end of the lap here, it was not too bad. I was catching up with whoever was in front of me, and you can see the Acid Raptor getting 130.2. Now it's worth mentioning this race goes mental. It's qualifying, sorry. You can see someone got 129. I dropped into the 129s anyway, 129.8. But somebody, it turns out, got first place with a 109. The game just messed up. It started, you'll see it at the end of qualifying, but I did make it out, went on to a second flying lap. By now I'd been jumped, and as you can see I've been jumped by Edited Fawn, and not usually I'd like to have made up more than less than a tenth out of those first few corners. Now the track's been rubbered in and I should have found my feet a wee bit more, but yeah, making big gains there because I did make a mistake in the first lap. But yeah, Edited Fawn's ahead of me. I know for a fact Ty's ahead of him, although I believe Ty has now left the league because he was based in America, and I think it was too far. The ping was just problematic when the host is based in the UK, or in fact Ireland. So yeah, it was a real shame. He was a super nice guy. Kind of did a few practice sessions with him, and his pace was quite something, to be honest. So a real shame, but yeah, I personally didn't have any problems in this race with his lag, but others did, and yeah, it's been a few races of it, so real shame, and hopefully finds a good league in the US. It's also worth mentioning, if you look at all the wee dots, everyone's greyed out, and that is a sign of the game just messing up. Just such a nuisance, to be honest. It really made things different, and I actually think Edited Fawn gets a wee bit done over here. So you can see it says me then Edited Fawn, but I'm not in a Haas, I'm in a Williams. And the Haas would have been Ty was second, and then Williams was, so I don't know where it put Edited Fawn, but I think he got possibly mispositioned looking at the footage again for the actual race, which is a real shame because me and his pace during practice sessions and that have been really close, as seen by the fact that I thought he had out-qualified me, but the grid had to be made up from scratch again just because of the way the game worked it out and messed up. So real shame, don't know what happened. But anyway, on to start the race. Me and Ty do okay. I just kind of try and keep it clean. You can see I actually push wide in this corner because I can see the red down my side. But I managed to get past and keep ahead of RT93 Klaus. Although there is going to be an instant later on, which I'll go a bit more in depth in with him. So yeah, there's not really a lot to be seen. Ty does his usual, gets away. I do my usual and struggle with a high fuel load, but honestly I end up catching him up. I do get back into DRS zone, but for the moment I'll stop talking and just let the first couple of laps play out. just a wee clip here just to show you that despite Ty's recent electric pace in F6, I did actually manage to claw back the gap that he'd built up, and in fact you can see the two of us are quite a wee bit ahead by now. But yeah, I'd got within DRS zone of him, which I was just not expecting. I thought he was just going to be gone, but no, I managed to actually hold on. And even here, like, although I've dropped out DRS zone, and my tyres are about 50% after the first stint, yeah, I'd caught up quite well. I was quite happy with that, to be honest.
Stop to go. One stop left in this strategy. You're around second faster than the car ahead. Keep this up.
So I'm now 13 laps into the race. I've done my first of 2 pit stops, and the goal here was actually to do a super soft, but I actually managed to push the softs for quite a wee bit. But anyway, at this moment in time, the goal here is to catch up Bayfield, who's in 3rd place on mediums. I'm assuming he hasn't yet stopped. So those mediums are going to be pretty old, and given that that's probably the case, then I really should be able to catch him. That's not always the case, as you know, but there's no reason I shouldn't be able to. My traction should be so much better than his at this point, so yeah, just this is me closing down Bayfield, and I kind of kept out of it at this point. I didn't try anything going into these areas because, again, rich fuel mix, should have DRS. There was more than likely a straight, be it this lap or the next, I should be able to catch him, and in fact it looks like I've got quite a good run already. A wee tiny bit of lag, so I move out early, and yeah, that was the move. Pretty much done. I do stay nice and wide, but I can see the red goes away, it drops to white, so I know I'm okay to move back onto the racing line. But I did try and always keep it clean in these stages. And that was me, back up behind Ty, though the gap at this point I think actually had got quite big. So Ty keeps going on here, and I come in for my second pit stop, and yeah, it was straight on to another set of super softs. As I said before, the goal was to do another soft stint, but I managed to stretch out the other tyres longer than expected. If truth be told, I probably held on to them for a lap too long, because the previous lap was half a second down on my other laps. So that was a bit foolish on my part, and it ends up causing the problem you're about to see, because it let RT93 Klaus past. Now he's on very old mediums. I assumed at this point he'd been on them since about lap 12 or something, lap 13, 14 maybe. And he'd started on, in fact he must have pushed super soft, because I think he was super soft as well at the start. Can't remember, you can check back at the start of the video if you want to find out. But yeah, hanging on for one lap too many and not just going straight onto the softs let RT93 Klaus past, which was a bit of a mistake on my part, although at the time I thought going on to the faster tyre for the last of 8 laps was the right thing to do. But yeah, what happened was this. So this is still in the first lap after I come out the pits. I've got DRS, rich mix, tons of fuel, and you can see here the RT93 Klaus locks up. He goes kind of wide. And I just get a much better traction off the corner, and he seems to stay out wide off the racing line. And as I come up to the top of the hill, you can see his nose, and his nose just drops away. So I thought he'd just backed out, just because obviously we were on completely different strategies. He was on 2 laps slower tyres, and if you see from his point of view, he was also on 50% wear nearly. But at the time I was annoyed, but when you look at this, just from his point of view, it just, yeah, there's no way he could have seen it coming, to be honest. I thought he backed out, but just because he was at such an acute angle into the corner and he'd just run so far up in the rumble strip before it, it just didn't show the arrow on my screen. So it is an unfortunate racing incident. Just absolutely kicking myself for it. If I'd waited for 2 more corners, I could have probably just got him in the long straight and had a chance to catch up. And I do actually think, because somebody else's strategy was just so good, that even though I'd been behind Ty the whole time, I actually think I probably would have dropped down to 3rd at best. It would certainly have been a real stretch to get my 2nd place back, but 3rd was an easy goer. But yeah, that crash meant I didn't get past Klaus, and it also meant that 2 other drivers managed to get past as well. So I kind of, as I say, I don't think I'd done anything wrong, but I shouldn't have done the move. It was a bad decision to risk it. I just thought with the tyre differential and the much better run out the corner, I'd got the move done. But yeah, Klaus wasn't for giving up, and we both touched at the top of that. But you can see a few laps later on, I'm back on, even though I've got a wee bit of wing damage, I'm back onto the back of Klaus, and I'm pushing quite hard. He's still locking up a wee bit into that corner, which just always lets me get quite a good run out of it, catch up on him. So yeah, frustrating. Could have been my 2nd podium. Oops, exceeded track limits there, which is I think only the 2nd that I'd done that race. I think I maybe did 1 more. I certainly didn't get enough to get penalties anyway. And yeah, heading onto this straight here, DRS, rich mix. It should be a done deal. He tries to get me out of his slipstream, but he moves out, moves back. But yeah, I just wasn't ever going to make it from this distance, actually. So it would take another lap before I got close enough to him. And yeah, he's really just chasing down. You'll see quite often I move out, and that's not actually me doing an overtake. I just sometimes find it hard when you're that close, and especially with someone in that old tyres and on two compounds slower, their braking points are different. So I tend to actually just move out, so I'm not actually trying to go for a move at these points. I'm just trying to make sure I can spot my braking point better and not get more wing damage off the back of their car if they brake early or anything to that effect. But yeah, so here I am on to coming back up, and I've got a much better exit this time coming into the corner, just before the one that had our problems. This time I keep, again, well, I kept well to the left last time as well, but I keep also a bit further to the left as well, and that was it. Moved done. But I don't know if you'll see it in the footage that I've got here, but Bayfield at this point was about 11 seconds up the road. He was also on the fast tyre. He'd started from the back of the grid because he had a qualifying ban, started in the mediums and pushed it. Credit's due. I mean, that's a fantastic recovery. Yeah, Ty's 16 a bit seconds up the road. What I'd actually lost as well was, I think I looked at RS Dash, which is a fantastic app for your iPhone and Android, I believe. That I think the spin cost me around about 12-ish seconds, maybe a wee bit less than that, but certainly into the double digits in seconds anyway. So I still would have been at best 6 seconds off the back of Ty, assuming that my speed was comparable. So yeah, real shame that I never got to keep racing them. Oh, there's Prowlix, who's a nice spin. Anyway, nothing much more happens for the rest of the race. It's just plodding along, trying to get a 3-second gap to the car behind on the basis that you never know. I only needed one more warning to get a 3-second penalty, but it was okay. I didn't get anything. So yeah, 5th place. I mean, 5th place is still not bad. Certainly more than I ever expected coming into the league. Just frustrating because I felt like I should have been on for more there, but that's the way it goes, I suppose. Sometimes, yeah, I suspect me and RT will be a wee bit more careful against each other in future. But yep, 5th place, another fantastic win for Ty, who again, his pace is just superb. So credit where credit's due. He has been pretty fantastic so far this season, winning all bar one race. But yeah, that's the Bahrain Grand Prix, Spain next week, where I'll catch you. So like and subscribe, and yeah, hope to see you again next week, and check out AOR Racing.